Welcome to this exciting episode of the Global Creative Service, where we'll be talking about building 10 mountains. I hope you are excited. Come to the front of the class as we discuss this exciting topic. From the beginning, people are like, building 10 mountains, how is that even possible to build 10 mountains? So let's begin the service. Welcome you to the service, viewers from around the world. I would like to begin by introducing myself. Like I was introduced by my principal. One day he invited me to his office, and I knew that I was in some trouble of some sort, and he offered me a seat. I took the seat. I did not expect to be offered the seat, and then he said that you joined this school, and then you wanted to say something. So when he said you joined this school, he was searching in his vocabulary, and he said that you joined this school and then you became big. You became big. And when he said that, you could not believe that he had described he had described the student with those words. So he asked me to, what the fuck? Okay, so he asked me to leave. So he said you joined this school and then you became big. Okay, that was my introduction that day. But today we are here on the Global Creative Service, where we are talking about the market. As creatives, the main reason why creative people are there is to be active in the market, and we are leaders in the marketplace. When you look at people who are recognized as creative people today, I will talk about Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo, when he wears a shirt, like when he wears a shirt, everyone wants to look like that. So they're in control of the market, creative people. And it's what we are here today to build out of you guys who are watching, people who can actually uh, control the market and be leaders in the market, in the marketplace. We are not here to discuss politics. This is not the place for politics or religion. We are not here to discuss religion. This is not the place. We are here to discuss the marketplace and how you and me can actually be kings and queens from actually producing products that the market will love. Products that the market will love. So I hope you are geared up and ready for an exciting Friday as we talk about building 10 mountains. So how is it even possible to build 10 mountains? When we go to the location here in the United Arab Emirates called Hata, Hata is like the highest, they call them the highlands of the United Arab Emirates. And there you find mountains. You find mountains. But Hata, as you know, the United Arab Emirates is a desert. So if there are going to be any mountains there, how is it possible that there are mountains in a desert? Well, if you look at Hata, there are more than, here we're discussing building 10 mountains, and someone would be thinking, well, that's impossible. But here in Dubai, more than 10 mountain ranges are being built by people. People are building mountain ranges. And Hata is popular for its dam. When you go to Hata, you'll find there's a very lovely dam, the best scene you'll ever see. Like you just go there and it's meant to be welcoming to you, right? But when you see that dam and how marvelous it is, there's actually a bigger dam being built right next to it to extend that dam. So what makes a place, a desert, actually be in such a mode of development? It now comes to creating economies, and it's not just an economy that allows it to be possible to make 10 mountains. To build 10 mountains, you need more than just an economy. You need uh, a voice that is trusted. When we look at uh, economies, it is possible to build mountains when you make it a fact that when I make money, my money is going to be kept in my economy. My money is going to be kept in my economy. Because people who build mountains, like when you go to Hacha, the mountains are not making anyone any money. Like no one is profiting from mountains. They are just there in the view. They're just there in the view. But the fact that investment is being put there is evidence that there's something they are doing that is right. There's an economy that is actually going up. And there's economics around building these mountains. Okay? So it is possible for one person to actually build 10 mountains. Actually, it's very easy and it is possible. Uh, Historically, when we go to Egypt and look at the pyramids, it was possible for the pharaohs to actually build tombs, tombs that were the pyramids that we see today. They were actually built during the lifetime of a pharaoh. During the lifetime of a pharaoh, that is when he would build his tomb. It was not done after he was gone. So during his lifetime, he had to look into his finances. He had to look into his finances and say, okay, me, I'm like my, I'm, I'm contributing to the economy of this country as the leader. Like the pharaoh was the leader of, like he collected taxes from everyone. These guys, in those days, everyone in the like kingdom had to pay taxes to the pharaoh. So he was saying, I have fixed the economy. So now let me build myself a pyramid, right? So his economics was right. Last week we were talking about securing financial freedom. Now, when you have financial freedom, that is not the last step. When you have secured financial security, you actually have to look into the economics that goes with that financial security, because you might be secure financially, but the economy that you have around you is actually leaking the money, and you cannot build a mountain and recover from it. Like the pharaohs built tombs. Pharaohs built tombs in their lifetimes. Like this was not an expense that was going, like it was accounted for building these tombs. And they had to make sure the economy runs as well as they are doing these projects. So the economics has to be just right. Uh, Now we have to look at us as creatives. Is it possible for one individual to actually be able to do feats like this, building 10 mountains? Uh, I would like to go to Harvard University. Harvard University is popular for academic excellence, and the first black man to actually get a doctorate from Harvard University was Dr. Webb Du Bois, the first black guy to get a doctorate from Harvard University. Uh, Looked at the world as we look at it and said, "Me, I have gotten this opportunity. What can I do to help the world be a better place with the education that I've gotten?" And he looked and saw that color was a problem in the world. Like color was a problem in the world. This is just a guy, a black man. Now, when we look at like when we look at the fact that he was the first black man to get a doctorate from Harvard University, we'll be like, okay, maybe he came from a rich family. But the main point is that he was from a minority race, which was actually uh, prejudiced in the society. Like when you look at Harvard in America, there's like racial discrimination, and him being black is coming from a minority race already. So, what could you do about the question of race? What could you do about the question of race as a guy with a doctorate? The first, like the first, he was the first guy with a doctorate from Harvard. So he started an organization and said, I, as Web Du Bois, I'm going to advocate for the minorities. The minorities will not get unjust judgments anymore. When something happens to a minority, they will not get an unjust judgment. This is just a guy who had gotten a doctorate and had a dream. But when we look at the organization that he started, the organization that he started actually went on to fight for the rights of minorities and won major cases that actually that actually started the change of the constitution to look into the question of race. To look into the question of race. This is just one guy who woke up and said, no, uh, something has got to give. Something has got to give. So when we are talking about building 10 mountains, building 10 mountains might seem like a big task. It might seem like a big task, but here on the global creative service, we are saying that when you look at the economics of of your personal life, you can just wake up one day and say that I'm putting a mountain over there. Right here in Dubai, uh, we are in control of the market, right? Like people always ask me like, what you are saying you're in control? Who are these people who are you are saying are in control of the market? Right here on this service, we can say that the price of such and such is going to go up, or the price of demand for such and such is going to increase. And it is not something that cannot happen. It is something that you can actually wake up one day and say, tomorrow the price of chocolate, uh, the demand for chocolate is going to increase, right? It's something that you can just do just like that, just like that. And, and change actually happens because the market uh, is controlled by the creatives. The creatives are the forefront of the marketplace because of their advantage. When we look at the advantage of the creative when they go into the market, they are the same like everyone. The creative goes into the market the same as everyone, but the difference is noted instantly. The difference is noted instantly. We look at communication. When a creative communicates, it's deliberate to say that no, me, I am putting this point out there. I am putting this point out there, and that is that. That's that. The communication is deliberate, and the creative actually is out there to solve problems for people. Like we are solving problems for people, making people happier. Like you don't control the market where people are not happy. Like you have to make people happy for them to be like excited at what is happening. They have to be excited. That's why uh, sports, like creative people who are in sports, uh, are actually more effective in terms of controlling the market, because already when you see uh, someone who is into sports, you have moments that they made you happy. I'll give an example. Like me myself, I liked how Lionel Messi won the last World Cup. Like the last World Cup, he won the match. It was a tough match against Mbappe and everyone. But the fact that he won that match, he actually made me happy, like very happy. So when he is going to be bringing out something to the marketplace, I'm going to be excited. Like, what is Lionel Messi doing, right? Like, what is Lionel Messi doing? And I'm probably going to be like open to whatever he's going to suggest. If he's going to say, well, let's buy my like yes, shoes. Yes, these shoes that used to do with I don't know the company Abibas. I don't know the company that he has. Like if I mention the name of a company here, their shares might go up tomorrow, and we might get arrested saying that they are doing insider trading and this and that. So we don't mention companies. We are bigger than that. We are bigger than mentioning companies or doing any marketing. As you can see, we're mentioning individuals. Individuals. That's as far as we can go. I can mention individuals, but I'm not marketing any company. I noted that we could increase the price of chocolate, the demand for chocolate. But I'm not saying a specific brand, a specific brand, because we will be like, okay, now you're doing marketing for these guys, and this and that. Uh, the most I could say about the price for the demand for chocolate, I could just say, like the demand for chocolate is going up uh, for pistachio chocolates. Like chocolates with pistachio are going to increase demand towards Christmas. Yes, that could be that is as much as we could go. That's as much as. But after that, saying brands, no, we are like global creative service is bigger than that. Now, when we are looking at you as the creative, you don't have. We are in 2026 where you don't actually have to have a soccer career like Lionel Messi and win a World Cup. You don't need to win a World Cup to actually make someone happy. To make someone happy, you don't have to play like a whole football career and then or a NBA career like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan got the deal with Nike after his NBA career. You don't need to have an NBA career for you to be influential in the marketplace. We are talking about it that you as a person can just make someone happy. Michael Jordan, uh, or wherever you look at, they are making people happy in whatever they are doing, making people happy in whatever they are doing. And we are saying you don't need an NBA career or a soccer career and a World Cup in your basement or whatever. You just need to make someone happy. That's all. And and it gives you an advantage instantly in the marketplace. It gives you an advantage. Like you are now recognizable as someone who is exciting when you actually bring things out. So we'll be looking at these things as creatives. These are simple things that we can actually uh, do to improve our positioning in the market. Like if you if you have the opportunity to actually watch this global creative service, just the opportunity to watch the global creative service, it means that you are ready to do something and bring products to the market that are actually exciting, and make people happy. Like all the ideas we talk about, all the ideas like we are talking about things that will improve the lives of people. Sometimes you don't have to make people happy before you bring a product, but the product itself can actually make people happy. Like when we look at companies like Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola tried to change their recipe in the United States in the 90s. They tried to change their recipe for their drinks, and it was a social, like people people rioted. People rioted, like people went out in the streets like this is not going to happen. We will not let this happen while we are watching. Just to change their recipe. They did not like come out and say, we are going to make people happy, we are giving people free drinks. No, they did not do that. They just gave a product, and the product itself made people happy. Like people were complaining that you can't change this recipe. I We drank this at my wedding. Like at my wedding, we were drinking Coca-Cola. When my child was born, I requested my husband for a Coca-Cola, and I want that recipe to be the same, so that I can tell my child when she's grown up that this is the same drink we used to drink the day you were born. You see things like that. So the product itself, you don't have to worry too much. Just make sure it enhances the life of people. Coca-Cola could not do it. They could not do it. Like since then, in my country, we have a joke where we say that when you are drinking Coca-Cola, you say the Coke nowadays is no longer as tasty as it was back in the day. Like it's a trick you play on the younger people, telling them that Coke used to taste better than it is doing. But uh, Coke just tastes the same like it was back then. Coke has not changed its recipe, but you just say Coke is now no longer as good as it was. You see, so that is something that can actually happen. That the product itself will actually go ahead and start making people happy. So let's get excited. Let's get excited. Let's go back to our topic of building 10 mountains. Building 10 mountains. And we are saying it is possible to actually build 10 mountains. When you figure out the economics of your whatever organization that you have, when you have the economics right, you can actually fix it. Now, economics is not the only thing that actually makes it possible to build 10 mountains. We have to look at the, the voice of the person who is saying, I'm going to build 10 mountains. Your voice actually can make it possible to build 10 mountains. Your own voice. Like when you say that I'm going to actually build 10 mountains, you have to have a voice that is recognizable as visionary, because building mountains is a long term investment. 10 mountains are built as a long term investment. When you are like here in Dubai, they are building mountains. Whoever said those mountains have to be built in Hata is someone who is considered a visionary, whose voice is recognized as being visionary. Now, when you say you want to build 10 mountains and people listen to you and know that this guy has no idea what is happening, and with, with the money that is going to go into building 10 mountains, our grandchildren might actually suffer because of this decision. It is not going to happen. It is not going to happen because decisions like building 10 mountains have to come from a voice that is actually recognized as someone who has a clear vision of what it is going to be like 100 years from now. What is it going to be like 200 years from now? Now we are talking economics. When we go to Japan has a 100-year investment strategy where companies actually spend money on things only that are going to be valuable in some strategic way 100 years from now. Like you'll be seeing them seated like this, but they are investing for 100 years, knowing very well that 100 years from now we might all not be there. We might not all be there. Now, when people like that are now looking into building 10 mountains, and voices of people who are investing like that say, I want to build 10 mountains, will it happen? It probably will. It probably will when we know that, okay, this guy has a 100-year investment strategy and he's working towards that. But when we know that this guy has no idea whatsoever uh, what is happening, like as a creative, what voice are you putting out there? What are you backing? Who are you talking about? Uh, it's like it has to actually put something on your voice, on your voice as a creative. I actually came across this guy who lives in Dubai here, and he's the CEO of some company, right? CEO of some company. Uh, when you look at uh, his investment strategy, his investment strategy is short term returns because he has a hedge fund. He has a hedge fund. He's going into short-term returns and like he wants to make people money on the short term. And his brand just looks like that. You see him in the Bugatti, at the GP at the GP whatever races are being done, and his brand speaks like that. Like we are going to make quick money from what we are going to do. And when he talks about ways to make money, you'll be like, okay, there's money there. And all his investment portfolio, you can look like, wow, there's money there. But when you're looking at long-term investment, I don't think his voice would be the right to talk about that because the message he's sending is for quick returns. So as a creative, you have the potential to actually look into this. The sad reality is that you can't be everything to everyone. You can't be everything to everyone. As a creative, you can't be everything to everyone. You have to stand for something because you are putting a voice out there. And what message are you bringing out? Is the question. What message are you bringing out? With the message you are bringing out, will it be possible to build 10 mountains? Will it be possible to build 10 mountains? Maybe if the message that you're bringing out is that, well, I'm looking long term. I'm like, if you are going to put money in these mountains, it is going to look like this, like this, like this. Well, people might actually put money into that. But if we don't have confidence in your voice that our money is going to be spent right, that is not going to happen. That is not going to happen. No one is going to build a mountain, like a mountain. Where I'm from, we have a lot of mountains, and when you build a house on top of a mountain, when you build a house on top of a mountain, um, it's like people will be like, wow, look at that house. Are they safe up there? Like a mountain is not the best place to do anything on top of. It's not the best place. So when you are building mountains, you better have a very credible voice, like and using other people's money. Well, when you're building a mountain and using other people's money, you better have a very credible voice to say that we are going to use your money to build these mountains because of this. And if there's a crack in your voice, well, the mountain, even if you reduce the number, like in Hata, we have mountain ranges being built. If we reduce the number to the 10 mountains, 10, building 10 mountains, which is our topic today, just 10 mountains will not be built just because you said that it is not going to happen. So we are saying economics. The economics have to be right to actually be able to build 10 mountains. It is possible to build 10 mountains. The economics has to be right. And the voice, we talked about Mr. Webb Du Bois, the first black man to get a doctorate from Harvard University. He woke up one day and said that I am going to be the guy who is going to fix the question for race. Race is going to be fixed by me. He was not looking at anyone else. He was saying, I've gotten this doctorate and I'm going to do something with what I have learned. So, because of that, he won major cases for minority races. I'm talking major cases for minority races. He actually won the case for O.J. Simpson. For those who know O.J. Simpson, he was a former Olympic athlete who actually was accused of killing his girlfriend, killing his girlfriend. And he was saying he did not do it. He was saying he did not do it. And that case was very paramount for the question of race because O.J. Simpson was in those days was like the person to look at when we looked at the black community. Like O.J. Simpson was the person to look at. And now, him having killed his girlfriend, being accused of killing his girlfriend, it meant that whoever was against black people could just say black people are very bad. These guys are very bad. Look at what OJ did. Look at what OJ did. They are all very bad. But now, Webb Du Bois actually stood for that case. Actually stood for that case. And OJ symptoms beat his case for being accused to murder his girlfriend. It was a breakthrough for the black community, even though later evidence came out, like evidence later came out to say that OJ was lying. Everyone was like, OJ Simpson was lying. He actually killed his girlfriend. So, yes, the case was won, but OJ was lying. But that does not mean black people are bad. OJ was just lying about killing his girlfriend. But Webb Du Bois actually got the victory, like he won the case for his community, even though the person you fought for, in this case OJ, it was actually guilty. Was actually guilty. Like a lot of it was not just Webb Du Bois who stood for OJ. Uh, the Kardashians, if you know about Kardashians, the Chris Jenner is the mother. Bruce Jenner was actually He himself is a former Olympian, just like OJ. So they were friends. OJ Simpson being an Olympian, former Olympian, and Bruce Jenner being a former Olympian. So Bruce actually came out and gave a testimony that no, OJ is a good guy. Like me myself, I know him for this, for this, for this. But in the end, OJ had done it. OJ had done it. So that was just a dilemma for OJ. Like everyone trusted OJ Simpson. Everyone trusted that he did not do it, but he had actually done it. So in the market, when we are looking at creatives here on the global creative service, we are saying us as creatives going into the market, we have to be deliberate about our communication. And when we are saying people like O.J. Simpson, who by doing something wrong, the whole black community was now being labeled as bad people. Like they had that power to have a whole community being uh, labeled a certain type of way because of their actions. And that is the same thing with everyone watching here on the Global Creative Service. That is the same thing with us. That is the same thing with us. So, whatever message you are bringing out there, whatever message it is, it has to be considerate of the fact that I am the creative. I am the creative. Like, do you know that when we look at like biblical, all right, let me not talk of biblical times. We are not here to discuss religion as stated already. When we look at any civilizations, when we look at them, we do not say that Rome was this way because of Caesar, the ruler said this or that. Caesar actually is not the person who tells us what Roman society was like. It is the creatives who were there that time. The creatives who were there that time actually uh, are the ones who tell us like society would have looked like this. When we look at people like Socrates, Socrates he actually gives us a back view into the thinking of people. Like when we are looking at the mindset of a whole generation, we are just looking at, or like we just go into the books and say, what did Socrates say? Okay, Socrates said this, that, that. Okay, so the people thought like this. People don't even look at what Caesar was saying. Caesar was the ruler, but Socrates was just a guy who woke up and said, well, me, I am a philosopher. Like just like that, the whole society is judged by how he looks at things, his ideas. So it is the same way with us. It is the same way with us on the global creative service. So whatever you bring out, will it make it possible for you to actually build 10 mountains? Will it actually make it possible to build 10 mountains? And we have looked at the fact that it is possible for one man to say, I want to build 10 mountains, and the mountains actually get built. 10 mountains can actually be built from your saying, I'm going to do this. But it is determined by your positioning in the market. And you have actually everything. You have everything you need to actually position yourself in that way. to a point where you actually say that 10 mountains can be built. Here we are saying we're in control of the market. As creatives, you are in charge of the market. Whatever happens, it's the creatives that will be taking the front seat, taking the front seat of whatever happens in the marketplace. So it is important to be considerate and deliberate about everything that you bring out there. The ideas themselves. What ideas are you actually bringing out? What ideas are you bringing out there? It is important to actually look at those facts. Here we actually discussed about the fact that creativity in itself, it is something that is already inside of every person. As long as you call yourself a human being, you have creativity inside of you. The same creativity that Albert Einstein, who actually brought out the laws of gravity, you have it inside of you right there. But the thing that we discovered is that there's a difference between the creativity that is in people. Like people who have creativity in the form that is where it is effective. In the context of the global creative service, I will refer to these people as great men. Great men. People who have creativity that is effective, that is generating ideas that are actually useful. They have a mark that actually follows them. Great creatives have a mark that follows them. And when we look at this mark that follows great creatives, we can actually, it all looks, gives us a picture of the cavemen. Like these are people who were like me. I have basic things. I have basic things. Like I just have my spear and my cave, and that's it. But they were not looking at finding other things that are in their surroundings and enjoying and whatever. They were looking at a cause that is higher than uh, than other things that they could pursue. So creativity for people like that, it generates ideas that can actually feed your family. Like we said, that creativity can actually begin generating ideas that can feed your family when you actually nurture it a certain type of way. When you look at the cavemen, they were actually drawing. They were making a mind map. A mind map. In these days, they call it a mind map of ways to actually be more effective as hunters. These people were hunters and gatherers. And when you get in their cave, you actually saw that, wow, they were using spears, they were attacking this type of animal. It was right there. Like you just had to enter the cave one time and go out and know exactly where to go, how to move. But now, with time, that culture has actually been distorted because when you enter the exhibit of most creatives, when you enter like me, I've gone to art galleries. I've gone to art galleries. You can go into an art gallery and watch all the art in there and go outside and have no idea how you can feed your family. Like all the art inside was just making you say, wow, wow, oh, beautiful, wow, oh, that's so, wow, very talented. But how are you going to survive that day? You have no idea. How the money is going to come, you have no idea. Like here, where I am in Dubai, we actually have a city that is less than 50 years old. 50 years old. So the idea of survival in Dubai It's not like something that is has been looked into. Like, how do you make it in Dubai? It's still conceptual. That's why people have a vague idea. Like, you come to Dubai and dreams come true. You come to Dubai and dreams come true. You come to Dubai and dreams come true. But how really do you get about that? They are very weird ideas. And when you follow most of the ideas, you actually become a victim of abuse. You'll be a victim of abuse if you follow some of the ideas that are put out there that are meant to make you money or something. Like, you'll be a victim. But because the essence of creativity that was there in the days where creativity was at its basic form has been distorted with time and by people. Some people actually have intentions to take without giving, just evil intentions. Not like it is distorted, like they are deliberately trying to mess you up, deliberate. But here on the global creative service, we are saying you yourself, you have the power to make something that will actually change your society. You have the power to make something that will change your society and change your own personal life, your own personal life, your great, like I always say, we want to make sure your grandchildren retire before they are born. Your grandchildren have to retire before they are born, but that will only happen when your creativity gets to a point where it starts generating ideas that are useful and can bring bacon to the table, bacon to the table, okay? And I have been going into the streets like last week and interviewing people, asking like the idea is when you ask someone if you ever been broke in Dubai, they will tell you like how they actually were creative in an environment where money was out of the picture. We are trying to go into an environment where money was out of the picture here in 2026, just like it was before money was there, when people were being creative, discovering fire, discovering continents, whatever they were doing before money. So we are saying we're trying to find that environment and actually see what ideas people are having. And we're actually getting very brilliant stories, brilliant ideas, brilliant ideas from people who are actually sharing their stories. And our website is still open. Like, if you have ever been broke, you can just share your story. We get one winner every day. We have one winner. Just go on our website and submit your stories. We're trying to help each other, guys. Like we are saying, we are creating a mind map where you can actually see how ideas that generate money can actually come in this Dubai outside of money. Like, when money is out of the picture, how can I, like, that mind map will actually change how you go about things. How you go about things actually changes when you have this mind map like there. You just have to walk into the cave. Just walk into the cave and see one, two, okay, I'm getting a spear, I'm going after this. You are ready to go out. And now we are saying whatever content we are putting out there, uh, and our website, we have a section where we have all the stories listed up. Like we're saying, you can contribute, help someone actually see how good ideas can actually become come and how other people are doing it. Like, we're interviewing a lot of people. Like, out of 10 interviews, usually only one person here's something that we can actually share, because not all the stories are actually good creativity. I interviewed one lady who said that me, I was broken, then I sold my body, like she sold their body. We are not bringing those stories out there on this channel. We are not bringing those stories out there on this channel. If you are going to sell your body, this is not the platform to actually share that, because that's not the kind of creativity we are looking into. We are looking into ideas that are on the bigger picture, like on the bigger picture, and we are not going that way. We are not going that way, okay? So it takes an individual, one individual just seated there, and be like, okay, I am the one who's going to actually build the 10 mountains. I'm going to build the 10 mountains, and this is how I'm going to go about it. And it's possible, like it's possible, just fixing your economics, fixing your messaging, and you are ready to go. Like when we look at economics, we have countries like Japan. Japan, I was talking about their 100-year investment strategy. They also have a lot of brilliant ideas that they actually implemented at large as a nation. Like it started with individual companies, and they saw results, and they were like, "Wow, I think we should do that at a larger scale." So when we look at people who are doing that, and it is actually possible, we can actually say that us as creatives, who can be the voices that are coming out into the market and saying, "No, guys, no, uh, don't spend your time watching those videos that are actually uh, causing you harm." Like you are building what we call survival instinct. Every time that you're looking at a video, and after that you have no idea how you can feed your family, you are making your survival instinct docile. Like that is, it might look not harmless, but it is actually making you docile, because when you go outside, when you go outside, that is when you see that, okay, I don't, like you not know which direction to move, like you will not know which direction to move, because the art gallery that you walked into, uh, maybe the person who did the art did not know which direction to move either. Like the person who is doing the art that you are watching does not know which direction to move. You yourself, you are watching the same art gallery where there's no clear direction. Now you don't have a direction also. So the cycle will be just like that, just like that. But we are saying we are going to the place where money is out of the picture, and looking at what is creativity. Yeah, like Dubai is less than 50 years old. Like these ideas that people are sharing, like that's creativity at its most basic form. At its most basic form, you can't say they did something that they had somewhere. Like these people are generating ideas in an environment where no one was there to actually help. You see, no one was there to actually help. So let's um let's share. It's nice to share so that we can have a more extensive collection, so that people can actually get help from what we are doing, here on the Global Creative Service. Just watching one episode, if you watch just one Global Creative Service, me, I don't really like saying that you need to watch three, you be around for 3 months. or 4 months around, hang around for 4 months and see what happens. I'm saying just one global creative service. You go out there and move one step, 2 steps, 3 steps, and money starts hitting your bank account. Just like that. That's what we are doing here. And the whole concept of bringing new ideas here is so that you can grab something and go and run with it. Now, when you grab something here, uh, the the ideas, you go with it and you run with it as far as you can. Run as far as you can. Of course, myself, I say that my ideas are copyrighted. All my ideas are copyrighted. So when you get my idea and you go out there and you run with it, uh, do you think that me, I will be like disappointed that you built a car without an engine? Like if I see some, I hear that one guy in Dubai, they actually has a car without an engine. Of course, I'll say that's my idea. That is my idea. But for the sake of science, you actually did a good thing. So let's get these ideas, let's run with it and go as far as we can so that our grandchildren can retire before they are born. We want to retire our grandchildren before they are born. And it is possible when you just wake up one day and say that I'm going to do it. I am going to do it. One guy named Martin Luther. Martin Luther, he was actually very unfortunate. So what happened is that Martin Luther was not very outspoken. He was a very reserved person, but the people chose him. The people chose him to actually speak for them, to actually speak for them uh, concerning the major problems they were having that time. Most people know him as Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King. So he did not even choose to be the person who was going to be making speeches on behalf of anyone. Uh, but here we are not talking politics, we are talking about the marketplace. So the point I'm trying to drive home is that Martin Luther, from being an introvert, actually went on to be the Martin Luther King that we know today. He was later on actually assassinated. He died from assassination from people who felt like the ideas he was bringing out were actually offensive. Like they were actually going to uh, like destroy their livelihood. You know, whenever an idea is being brought out, there are people who are on the receiving end of it. Yes. So Martin Luther was assassinated, but he came from someone who did not actually know how to actually communicate. He was not actually the feeling like he was the right person. Like Martin Luther was not feeling like he's the right person to actually be be representing people on important issues like he was. But when he actually gained momentum, he actually grew into it and began to be a very good orator, very good at whatever he was doing. And here on the Global Creative Service, we are saying each one of you guys is something very special, a seed that needs only to be planted. Now, the only reason why some people actually never manifest their seed is because A seed has to die. A seed has to die before it actually grows. A seed has to die before it actually grows. But now, for a seed to die, it has to go from the plant. It has to go from the plant. Well, what am I saying? I'm saying you are not manifesting what you have to manifest because the seed that you have cannot grow while it's alive. A seed has to die and then shoot. No seed ever grow as ever makes a plant while still alive. Now, for a seed to actually die, it has to leave the plant. A seed do not die while still on the plant. While still on the plant, a seed will never die. So the seed will never die on the plant. So the ideas we are bringing out here, we are saying we are distributing resources. We are saying take over markets, guys. Markets are up to grabs. Here in Dubai, I'm actually confident that the demand for chocolate is going to increase because we are looking into that matter. The demand for chocolate is going to increase, right? That's what we are saying. We are in charge of the market, and we can actually say that with confidence. But without saying it, the the seed will not grow. You see, if I kept the demand with me, like I know that the demand is going to come, right? But if I do not put that seed out there for the demand, it will not amount to anything. I have to actually put out that seed from what the idea. The idea itself is the seed, but it has to go out where it dies, right? It has to die, and then it grows to something. Without that, it will not become anything. And that goes the same way with you guys. Whatever you are going to run with, whatever product you are thinking of doing, actually bringing out there, go somewhere, talk to someone who's actually going to bring you a step further. Maybe the seed will actually grow to something. You have to broadcast the seed. The seed has to be broadcasted for it to grow, grow to something. Okay, that is like you have the seed for greatness. You have the seed for greatness, but it has to be taken outside of you for it to become anything. It has to be put out so that it dies and shoots to become something. Like the story I always like for Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great. I like his story because it is like looking at the seed of greatness from a perspective that I like. It is my view of greatness. When you say that greatness, Alexander the Great, like his greatness was a seed planted by Aristo. His mentor was Aristo. Aristo actually mentored Alexander the Great. Aristo mentored Alexander the Great and planted the seed of greatness into Alexander. Now, when Alexandra became of age, he just had to put out there that seed that was planted by Aristo. He just had to put out there that seed, put out that seed, and he manifested greatness in his own way. In his own way, he manifested greatness. Okay, so as creatives here on the Global Creative Service, we are saying that we can actually build 10 mountains. We can actually build 10 mountains when we start moving a certain type of way. A certain type of way. You move a certain type of way. And it is important to know that most people do not manifest greatness because they are moving. They are moving. It's not like anyone is stationary. People are moving, but the steps they're taking all the wrong steps, taking all the wrong steps because they are victims of abuse, taking all the wrong steps because they are victims of abuse by people who are putting out there art that is actually misleading people, and maybe it's not misleading, but the person who is making the art themselves does not know how to move. So you are watching someone who does not know how to move, and you yourself end up not knowing how to move. Now you are a victim. You are a victim of abuse. Abuse. But we are saying we are creating a space here on the global creative service where you can actually take a minute. Like we are going to the Dubai Museum there, at the Dubai Museum, and requesting a space where we actually make a mind map, like a mind map, a 30-minute walk, 30-minute walk through, 30-minute walk through where you just go in and come out and start generating ideas that will make you money. Start generating ideas that will make you money. Just 30 minutes in that environment and you start making money. Like this is what the cave was about. You just had to walk in there and go out. But now the issue that is now happening is that someone is coming out and telling people that, well, you need to do 5 years, 5 years doing this, and then you then start making money after 5 years. Like 5 years, 5 full years. Yeah, on the global creative service, I'm promising that just one service, you start working like this, and money starts hitting your bank account, starts coming in, starts coming in. Just one service is all it takes. It took the cavemen. If it took the cavemen, just like uh, I myself never entered the cave. I never entered the cave, but I saw like we bought curtains. We used to buy curtains where there were drawings. There were drawings where you could like you be sure that these were drawings inspired by the drawings in the cave. And just by looking at them, you could see that wow, this is how these people lived. Like if you go back to that age, if you take me to that age, just by seeing one curtain, that one curtain with drawings, I know exactly how to move. I know exactly how to move just by seeing one curtain. But now we are in a time where people are telling us that you need like 10 years, 10 years of learning something to start making money when you just need to look at something, just a look, and then you know exactly where to aim, what to do. Yeah, I'm saying just one service is all it takes for you to start generating ideas. Just one service. So I think our time is up. That will conclude this today's service of the Global Creative Service, where we're looking at building 10 mountains and saying it is possible for one man, just like yourself, to build 10 mountains. And we laid out like step by step all the important things. Like there are many things that go into it, but we just looked at the important things that you have to look at when you are going to be saying, I'm going to build 10 mountains. And it actually happens. And we looked at economics, We just looked at two factors, economics and the voice. Economics and the voice. I hope you got everything you need to actually point where you need the mountains and say, I'm building 10 mountains over there. And it actually happens. I hope you had an exciting service, and this concludes this Friday. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. I hope to see you next week. Next week, we'll be looking at yet exciting topic, another exciting topic. Like we always do, the subject will be released later. All these series are actually teasers for the cure for HIV. The cure for HIV. We're going to lay the blueprint like we always do. And after watching that service, you'll be like, wow, why don't we have a cure for HIV after all these years? So that is what we are going to do when that time actually comes. And I hope that you actually be staying like up to date with what we are doing. Uh, Go on our website and support someone. In the future, something is going to lead, and if you do not support creativity, it is not going to be in the lead in the future. It will be whatever you are supporting, and if it is not creativity, it will not be in the lead. So this is an opportunity to actually go on our website and buy something to decide what is going to be leading in the future. I hope you are excited about what is happening and do something, click something, comment on something. Let us know what you're thinking so that we help each other, and hope that you guys get something today and run with it. Run with it as far as you can. Run with it. Run with it. Uh, that concludes our service for today. Thank you very much for joining. I'm going out.